All right, and we are off. Let's see where these teams go. Florida Gulf Coast slowly walking that bludger up the pitch. Or bludger. Wow, it has been a day. Slowly walking that quaffle up the pitch. I apologize. Bludger's on the ground. Number 6 for Florida Gulf Coast trying to run in. Gets beat from behind. Ball turned over to UNC. Number 4 running down the pitch and scores for Champeto. Makes your score 10-0. UNC getting the first goal of the game. Florida Gulf Coast walking the ball up again. 1 bludger. UNC still with bludger control. Florida Gulf Coast slowly panning their way out to try to make openings for passes. Number 6 driving in. Dodges a bludger but loses the quaffle. Champeto picks it up again, runs it down, passes the ball off to Manawar. Manawar scores. Score is 20-0. UNC. Bludger thrown far from behind the hoops of FGCU. UNC with control. Florida Gulf Coast taking it slow. Protected by a bludger. Quaffle slowly making their way around the right of the hoops. Challenged by both a beater and a chaser. Ball stripped from number 6. Champeto picks it up, runs it down. Quick little juke and scores through the mid-size hoop. Makes our score 30-0. UNC. Florida Gulf Coast with some speed, running up the pitch. Bludgers are on the ground. Ball passed off to number 20. 20 tries to take the shot. It gets picked off by UNC's keeper. Oh, pass across the pitch. Picked up by number 6 of Florida Gulf Coast, Swabic. Swabic walking up the pitch. That was a great initial shot, I believe, by number 20, Madison Sardine. Quick turnover to UNC, but then UNC turned it right back over to Gulf Coast. Pass behind the hoops picked off by UNC. UNC looking at what's ahead of them, setting things up, taking it a bit slow after the midline. Champeto with the ball. Long shot goal for Champeto. I believe that makes our score 40-0, but it looks like they've only got 30 across the way. Yes, 40-0. I was right. Yay. I haven't completely lost my mind yet today. All right. Gulf Coast slowly, again, moving up pitch, trying to conserve as much energy as they can with limited subs. Pass too far over. UNC picks up the quaffle. Moving up with some speed before slowing down. Ball in the hand of number 1, Burnham. Burnham tries to take the shot. It is caught by number 6, Swabic of Gulf Coast. Manawar tried to be sneaky and pick the quaffle out of Swabic's hands, but thankfully beater number 15, Stephanie Brennan, was able to turn around and stop him from doing so. Pass picked off by number 18, Shaw of UNC. UNC on the offensive, gets wrapped up. Great tackle on the far side of the pitch by Sardine. UNC keeps the quaffle. Manawar charging in, takes the shot, dubbed no good. And I believe that was number 1, Burnham, that tried to take the second shot. That was also no good. But in the end, Manawar is able to pick that up and put it through the hoop. Makes our score 50-0 UNC. And getting some fresh legs in for Gulf Coast. And by fresh legs, I mean one of their 2 subs on the sidelines. So we'll see what they can do in these next couple minutes, hopefully get on the board. Number 4, Swope, walking the ball up for Gulf Coast. Making good moves just past the midline, trying to get something to open up, takes the long shot, passes the ball back to Swabeck. Swabeck's able to score from behind the hoops. Goal for Gulf Coast. They are indeed on the board. Score is 52-10. UNC leading. Good passing and great goal by the ladies of Gulf Coast. You love to see it. UNC walking slow, changing the speed up. Number 0 running around, trying to score and gets the goal. Ayers with our goal. And we have a stoppage. Score is 60-10. UNC leads. I believe there might be an injury on the last play though for Gulf Coast. So we will wait for a trainer to come to the pitch, hoping all is well. Players, headbands on the brooms to go get water for injury stoppage. All right, we are back. Still waiting on a bit of an injury update here. As soon as we get going, we will let you guys know. Obviously, you'll be able to see it on the stream as well. Players are returning to their brooms, so it looks like we will have gameplay again here shortly. Quaffle is behind the hoops with Swabeck of Gulf Coast. And we are remounting and play is resuming. So we are getting a sub in for Beater from Gulf Coast. Looks like we got number 15, Stephanie Brennan, switching out so that number 19 or 18 can come in. Alvarez. Bludgers being exchanged. Swabeck charging in. Back behind the hoops, gets beat on the foot, unfortunately. Turnover to UNC on the Quaffle. UNC trying to get themselves set up, taking their time, letting their bludgers come on up. But Quaffle is leading the way. And now they're allocating one of their bludgers to protect the Quaffle. Passing backside of the hoops. Back up top. Slowly from the side, pass across. Back up top again. Nice beat from Gulf Coast, number 5. Zachary Hine gets the Quaffle back for his team. Swabeck walking Quaffle up for Gulf Coast. UNC with bludger control. But Gulf Coast engaging and doing a good job of it. UNC recovers the Quaffle. Bludgers were down. UNC also gets bludger control in the exchange. Gulf Coast staying tight to their hoops. And then slowly moving their way up, trying to push the UNC offense out of their keeper zone area. UNC able to take some of those good shots from the keeper zone line. Ball in the hands of number 0. He tries to pass off, but the Gulf Coast beaters are great at cleaning that up. Quaffle back in the hands of Swabeck of Gulf Coast. I believe it is Hine and Alvarez that we have in beating for Gulf Coast. Trying to make something happen here. Swabeck still with Quaffle in hand. Hine with the bludger to protect her. Alvarez trying to distract the other beaters. Oh, but the ball gets turned over to UNC. UNC running it in, gets the pass off in front of Gulf Coast hoops. And goal by number 17. makes our score 70-10. UNC leads. UNC looks like they're starting to get some new names into their goal scoring today. Seen a lot of the same, but this is I believe this is almost the final game of, this is the final game of their bracket, or their round robin play. Oh no, they've got one more against University of Florida yet. I apologize. But they so far are undefeated. Great pass back behind to Swabeck from number 4, Kira Swope. UNC is able to pick off the quaffle though. Quaffle in the hands of number 23, Ashlyn Clark for UNC. Passes the ball to 0, Ayers. Ayers passes back up top to Fan. Passes it back to Clark. Clark puts the ball through the tall hoop. Goal for UNC, 80-10. Gulf Coast with bludger control. Walking quaffle up the pitch. Trying to see what they can do against this UNC defense. UNC staying tight inside their keeper zone, really collapsing on the hoops, trying to make it so that Gulf Coast has no openings whatsoever. Number 7 of UNC, Brown, is engaging Hine from Gulf Coast at the middle of the pitch. Meanwhile, number 4, Swope for Gulf Coast, running around trying to get something happening near the UNC hoops. UNC picks the ball off. Ayers running up the pitch, blocks the bludger. Ayers passes the ball off to Fan. Fan gets beat, has to drop the quaffle. Quaffle back in the hands of Swope. Gulf Coast beaters, Hine and Alvarez able to hold on to bludger control. Swope with quaffle in her hand. Walking in again on the UNC defense. UNC again packing in tight in front of those hoops, trying to make it so they don't have any lane whatsoever. Gulf Coast really needs to try to get something going on their passing game in order to open up this UNC defense. Swope with quaffle in hand, trying to see if she could find a player open around the hoops. Moving around to the right-hand side. Ducking back from pressure. Does use her reset. Reset used for Gulf Coast. Gulf Coast still trying to make something happen. Hines still getting pushed away by the UNC beater, distracting him. Pass made back behind the hoops to Swabeck. Swabeck takes the shot. Goal for number 6, Olivia Swabeck. Makes our score 80-20. UNC leads. UNC taking their time to walk up the pitch, hoping to get bludger control back. Gulf Coast holding on to it. They've been doing that a lot ever since Hine and Alvarez came in as a beating pair together. Good passing by UNC, but Gulf Coast pressuring pretty high, trying to keep them outside of the keeper zone. UNC moving the quaffle all the way back behind their hoops. Player gets beat, has to turn the quaffle over. Quaffle back in the hands of Swabeck. Swabeck hands the quaffle over to Swope. Gulf Coast slowly making their way up this pitch, trying to conserve as much energy as possible. Swope charging in, adding some speed in. Swabeck flying around behind the hoops. Swabeck beat out behind the hoops, leaving Swope with limited options. Swope just throws the ball back behind the hoops. Gulf Coast unable to get there before it goes rolling off the pitch, so that'll be a turnover to UNC. So UNC on the day thus far, undefeated, trying to make sure that they get a bid this time around. They unfortunately did not get a bid at Mid-Atlantic Regionals. They lost out and came in 4th place. Their bid was lost to UVA, so hoping to get one here. And they're doing good so far, but it'll definitely come down to how they do against their final game against University of Florida. Both teams have been very strong in their showings today. Good passing around by UNC. Able to stay on her broom. Quaffle's on the ground. UNC charging in, gets stripped. It's a battle for Quaffle. Bludgers are being thrown, but Swabeck is the one that comes up with the Quaffle in hand for her team. Gulf Coast holding on to the Quaffle. That was number 98, Morris, with the initial great pickoff for UNC. Unfortunately, her team just wasn't able to get on top of it, and the ball did end up back with Gulf Coast. Swope for Gulf Coast, walking the ball up, trying to make something happen here. Team looking pretty stagnant thus far, though, which is telling of really what game in the day this is for them and their limited roster. Swope charges in, gets inside the keeper zone, gets pushed out just a little bit. Wrapped up, makes the pass off to Swabeck. Swabeck dodging through the back, but gets tackled. She has number 20, Sardine, there to help her out, but there is a scrum behind the hoops. Ayers of UNC comes up with the ball. Gets wrapped at mid-pitch by number 15, Brennan. Does get the pass off, though. Brennan heads back to help her team on defense. Quaffle currently in the hands of number 98, Morris. Morris passes to number 79, Davis. Unable to make anything happen for UNC as the ball goes rolling off the pitch behind Gulf Coast hoops. All right, looks like we're going to have a timeout for Gulf Coast. Definitely a smart thing to do. I do believe we should be coming up on the 20-minute mark before too much longer. You lose that time out after that fact, and their team definitely looks like it could use the minute-long break that they would get here. I don't know how much of it they'll actually use for strategizing. Not a whole lot you can do when you only have enough players to be on the pitch, really. But we'll see what they can do. Awesome. All right, we're back after our timeout. Florida Gulf Coast currently facing off against UNC. If you're just joining us, Gulf Coast in white, UNC in black. Our score is 80-20. UNC leads. All right, players are all back on their brooms. Gulf Coast walking the ball up. Quaffle in the hands of number 4, Swope. And Gulf Coast taking a substitute in their Quaffle game. Number 20, Sardine, walks off the pitch. Subbing in is Matthew Coleman, number 9. Bludger thrown at Swope. Swope dodges easily, just sort of takes a nice little step over it. Ball passed back behind the hoops. Tries to make the shot, getting wrapped up by UNC players left and right, but she charges through. Awesome goal there. And I believe that was number 15. Yes, number 15, Stephanie Brennan, with a great goal there. Awesome effort. I think she had like 3 UNC players on her that were just trying to not make it happen, and she somehow found a way to make it happen. So that makes our score 80-30. UNC leads. UNC with Quaffle. Slowly make their way up. They do not have bludger control. Bludger control is in the hands of Hine and Alvarez of Gulf Coast. UNC makes a pass to the outside. It's picked up by Gulf Coast, given to the keeper, Swabeck. Little bit of bludgers being thrown, but in the end, it is Gulf Coast that maintains bludger control. The third bludger is down on the ground by Gulf Coast hoops. So a lot of things happening. Can Gulf Coast score here? Brennan gets beat from behind, has to let go of the quaffle. Quaffle picked up by UNC, number 8. Milligan. No, that is not number 8. Ball in the hands of number 19. Takes the shot, but it is no good. Shot by Chow, no good. Gulf Coast picks up the ball from behind their hoops, slowly walks their way back up the pitch. Gulf Coast still with bludger control. UNC hoping to get bludger control back on this play. Swope gets beat, has to drop the quaffle. Picked up by Chow of UNC. Chow running the quaffle in, passes off to number 8. And goal. Shot from behind the hoops is good for UNC. Score is 90-30. UNC leads. Number 8, Jacob Dowler. Kept trying to find the number. That's who had the quaffle earlier. Number 8, Jacob Dowler. Gulf Coast, walk a quaffle in. Bludger leading the way, trying to open up some lanes. Swope looking for an opening to either rush in or get a pass off to one of her teammates. Alvarez exchanges bludgers with someone on UNC. A nice pass behind the hoops to Swabeck. Swabeck dunks it in on the small hoop for Gulf Coast. They are staying in this. Score is 40-90. UNC leads, but that was a beautiful goal by Swabeck of Gulf Coast. This is the last possession before we go into our halftime. So when we come back, Gulf Coast will have the ball, but we have to see first how UNC finishes on this possession. UNC trying to be very methodical on what they want to do. I'm sure they want to try to get back bludger control before Snitch comes on pitch. So they're sort of throwing the quaff around, waiting a little bit, trying to make something happen in the beater game. Number 28 of UNC charges in, tries to strip the ball. Quaffle does get turned over in that though, so I do not think UNC was successful in regaining bludger control. So when we come back, Gulf Coast will have both bludger control and the quaffle in their possession. All right, players are returning to their brooms. Halftime is over. We have a set score of 150. I'm not great at math.
And 160.
160. See, I was close. I just forgot one. 160 set score. Score right now is 90-40. UNC leads. We have our Florida State Snitch ready to play. I believe his last name is Castro, if I remember from the previous game. Pretty quick player. I do believe he also seeks for Florida State, so we will see how he does in the snitching game. He did snitch a game earlier, but I can't remember how he got caught specifically. So we'll see if he gets caught in a similar manner or if he's able to outrun these seekers. Interested to see who each team puts in at their seeking game. Champito has caught twice for UNC on the day, so I don't know, but it doesn't look like he's putting on a yellow headband at this time. So UNC probably trying to get some more players experience, which is really an amazing thing to do at any point in time. Regionals or not, get those players experience because then they'll be able to play at the national level and already have that experience under their belt. Gulf Coast coming back to their brooms. And we will be getting gameplay back underway momentarily. Quaffle will be in the hands of Gulf Coast keeper Swabeck. Yep, confirmation from the referee. Set score is 160. Our wind is starting to pick up again here. It was a little bit down for a moment, but definitely picking back up. We'll see how that affects the game. Number 8, Dowler tries to be sneaky and take the quaffle away from Swabeck, who hadn't even stepped out of her keeper zone yet, so quaffle gets turned back over to Gulf Coast. Snitch is released. Seekers are also released. Our Snitch decided to start pretty close to the Seekers. Not sure how I feel about that decision, but we'll see how it works out for him. Swabeck slowly walking out for Gulf Coast. Gulf Coast choosing to allocate their bludgers to the Snitch at this time. We'll see how that affects their offense. Swabeck running around near UNC's hoops trying to get an opening for a shot or a pass. And it looks like Gulf Coast may have got the pull. I do believe that is Alvarez with the pull. He seems very ecstatic, and I don't blame him. That kind of puts Gulf Coast back in this game a little bit. We'll see how it affects the rest of their play, because that kind of thing can sometimes take a team that's feeling like they're getting, drove into the ground, just what they need to get the fires lit and get them back in the game. All right, players are remounting after the good catch. Score is 75-90. UNC still leads, but Gulf Coast still in this. Gulf Coast with quaffle still. Swabeck just past the midline. Getting pushed by UNC. Swabeck making her way in. Ball gets knocked out of her hands. She gets beat in the moment. Ball picked up by number 18, Shaw of UNC. Gulf Coast holding on to bludger control. Stephanie Brennan now in as a beater, which I did not see the switch there, but good for her. She's an amazing chaser and also a beater, and a goal for UNC. Puts our score at 100-75. UNC leads. Set score 160. UNC switching out players. They've got a new beater with some fresh legs in. Gulf Coast trying to keep themselves in this game. Alvarez doing a good job of being pesky around the beaters. Does get the bludger back for his team. Swope passes the ball to Sardine. Sardine, unable to hold on to the quaffle, gets beat. Quaffle in the hands of Dowler for UNC. Making their way up the pitch. Chow back behind the hoops. And Shaw. Number 72 beating for UNC. Scott. They get beat on the play. Dowler takes a shot. It is blocked. Swabeck falls on that ball. Gulf Coast getting some fresh legs in the chaser game. Brennan comes back in as a chaser. Alvarez and Hine back in beating together. Swope with the quaffle. Moving around to the right of the hoops, gets the pass off to Swabeck. Swabeck takes a shot, but it is stopped by Shaw of UNC. Shaw running fast down the pitch. Quaffle in hand. Can he be stopped? The answer is no. And there will be a stoppage because we just broke a coupling. Score is 110-70. UNC leads. We had a bludger go far off pitch after the goal, so referees are hunting it down. Again, things just sort of roll on these pitches. And it looks like we had an actual pole break, not just the coupling. So that is that's impressive. Usually the coupling's what breaks first, but I think in this case we had a pole break. So they'll be radioing over to HQ, where I know there are extra poles in place. We just have to get one of them. So we will have a small stoppage in play here. Again, our set score right now is 160. Score right now is 110 to 75. An amazing catch by Gulf Coast Alvarez. Something definitely to be excited for the team. And I hope that's Alvarez that made the catch. The jersey they're wearing is 19. And I don't have a 19 on here, but there's an 18, but there's also a 9. So it might have actually been Matthew Coleman that made the catch. I apologize if I'm getting it wrong. Congrats to you. Either way, because that was a good catch. All right. So, yep, just a momentary stoppage here as we get a new pole for our hoop. I think they're trying to figure out if the hoop itself also needs to be fixed. There might have been a screw that fell out. Didn't seem like that forceful of a goal, but definitely did a number on our hoop over here. A few players over there trying to find the piece so that we can put our hoop back together properly. Plus, nobody wants to end up with that in a knee. I personally don't think that would feel very nice. So bear with us for the moment. Number 23 of UNC, Clark, being super helpful trying to get this hoop back together. And we have a new pole on the way. I can see it in the distance. So we should be getting started here shortly. That looks too tall. Like, is it just me?
No.
Yeah, so it looks like we got another moment that we'll be waiting. I think miscommunication on which pole it was supposed to be, so I believe the pole that we do have is too tall. Yeah. So we'll be waiting a minute longer. It's fine though. We appreciate you being here, watching our college teams here at the South Regional face off. Really want to give a shout out to Visit Myrtle Beach. They're the ones helping us put this all on, got us this lovely facility to my knowledge. This Doug Shaw Memorial Stadium, which if you haven't come out here yet and you're nearby, please do. This is a great facility. We've got lights on all the fields. These turf fields are pretty great. I don't say that about a lot of turf fields. Honestly, they're not my favorite, but this turf seems to be pretty nice for the most part. You'll notice that some of the players are wearing knee pads, though. Any turf will, tear up your knees a little bit, but this stuff's pretty good. It looks new, well cared for. We've got our lovely board in the back, which I'm sure you guys can see, that keeps switching between USQ, the South Region logo, and the Visit Myrtle Beach. So I don't know about you guys, but I plan on checking out the beach tomorrow morning, since all of our games will be completed today, enjoying the warmth that South Carolina has to offer. At least that's the hope. Don't let me down, South Carolina. we are finally getting back to play. Current score is 110-275. UNC leads. Set score is 160. Players are back on their brooms. Quaffle is going to be in the hands of Gulf Coast, just inside their keeper zone line. And we are getting started. Hopefully. Everyone's on their brooms, just waiting for the referee's call. There is one bludger on the ground behind the Gulf Coast hoops. Another bludger in the hands of Hine of Gulf Coast. And our third bludger is in the hands of the UNC player whose number I cannot see, so I cannot identify at this moment. All right, game has restarted. A missed beat by Hine. Number 12 for UNC is in and just, beating everybody on Gulf Coast. That's kind of amazing that UNC wasn't able to pick up the quaffle there, but I think it took the UNC quaffle carriers a moment to realize what it was that number 12, Jordi Sancho, was doing for his team. Gulf Coast trying to make something happen here. Brennan rushes in, gets the pass off back behind the hoops to Swope. Juking back and forth, trying to shake number 23, Clark of UNC, in the back corner. Still has the quaffle. Passes the ball back up top to Brennan. Brennan gets beat, tries to take the shot, but is called no good. Great block by UNC, but also great effort by Gulf Coast. Quaffle back in the hands of UNC, and Manawar able to put that ball through the hoops quite easily. Makes our score 120-275. Set score 160. So 4 more would do it for UNC. Gulf Coast gonna need 9 to get the win out of this game. Gulf Coast, Brennan, ball in hand, passes off to Swabeck. Swabeck gets beat in the back corner. Quaffle picked up by UNC keeper, passes the ball off to Ciampito. Ciampito running the ball up the middle, tries to take a shot or pass, gets tapped a little bit, picked up by Manawar. Manawar able to put the ball through the hoop. Makes our score 130-275. UNC still leads. Gulf Coast passes the ball back behind, nobody there. Manawar picks that quaffle up, tries to get the shot off, but gets beat in the process. So no goal. Great effort, but no goal. Looks like there might have been a little bit of contact on the play though. Swope seems a bit shaken, but not out. We do have a momentary stoppage. Swabeck is walking to the quaffle to inbound it from behind Gulf Coast hoops. Score is 130-75. All right, Gulf Coast inbounding behind the hoops. Gulf Coast also with bludger control at this time. Hine and Coleman or Alvarez, unable to tell with the current jersey, doing a great job of maintaining bludger control for their team, which has helped a lot these last few possessions. UNC choosing to keep their bludger back on top of their hoops and pressure Gulf Coast with their chasers. Pass across to Swabeck. Clark and Swayback battling for the ball. Swayback gets beat. Clark falls on top of the ball for UNC. Champito picks up the quaffle for UNC. UNC charging, trying to get something set up. Champito takes the far shot, and it is good. Score is 140-275. UNC leads. 2 more would do it for UNC. Beater battle taking place behind Gulf Coast hoops in favor of Gulf Coast, as number 57, Bonilla of UNC, gets beat out on that play. Brennan with the quaffle for Gulf Coast. Going along the right side, tries to make the pass behind the hoops to Swayback, but it is stopped by number 79, Davis of UNC. Davis hands the ball off to Champito. Champito walking his way up the pitch, or their way up the pitch. Champito faking the shot once and then takes a second shot that is good. Score is 150-75. 1 more would do it for UNC. Gulf Coast still not giving up yet, working their way up the pitch. Manowar choosing to play a very aggressive defense, as is number 57, Bonilla of UNC, trying to keep the bludgers of Gulf Coast back down near their own hoops. Gets beat out. Swope passes the ball off to Brennan. Brennan takes a long throw over to the other corner. Number 19 for your Gulf Coast is able to keep them in it a little bit. Manowar takes a shot too high for UNC, goes rolling off the backside of the pitch, and that will be an inbound for Gulf Coast behind their own hoops.
Thank you. Woo.
All right, we had a bludger roll pretty far off pitch that we are doing a stoppage for right now. It moved near some track and field equipment, so referee is allowing Gulf Coast to retrieve that bludger and start at the end line, the sideline, excuse me. Gulf Coast looking pretty tired, but not out of it yet. Slowly walking their way up the pitch. Looking to make this drive count. Gulf Coast with bludger control. Hine is being kept busy by Bonilla of UNC, though. Hine beats out Manowar. Brennan passes long across to Swayback, too high over her head. UNC inbounds on the far side of the pitch. Champito running fast. He's got Manowar on the far side. He is not able to keep up with the quaffle. Quaffle's picked up by Brennan of Gulf Coast. Swayback with quaffle in hand now. Hine and number 19 of Gulf Coast holding on to the bludgers for their team. Slowly making their way up the pitch. Number 6 for UNC, Milligan, really pressuring high on the beaters for Gulf Coast. Quaffle goes rolling out the backside of the pitch, so that will be an inbound for UNC. UNC walks the quaffle in the back, passes the ball off to Manowar. Manowar talking to his team, trying to get something set up so they can get this final point. Giving Gulf Coast a lot of time to set up too, though. Not always the best thing to do. Champito with the quaffle. Dodges Sardine when she tries to make a move on him. Champito charges in, takes the shot through the top center hoop. That will be goal, and that will be game. Thank you all for joining us. UNC remains undefeated. Gulf Coast, unfortunately, not able to pull out a win just yet, but stay tuned. Both teams will be back with us later, and we will see you then. Thank you.